Come on now, fellas. We've got to answer the bell. Now let's go.
Welcome into a Thursday edition. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, is here for your viewing and listening pleasure on Main Street Media TV. Glad to have you guys with us. I am back, and I'm Chris Yow. Excited to be back, too. Joined by Mo Patton, who was able to hold it down yesterday for a great show with Wade Neely. Thanks to Wade for stepping in on a day that I needed to take off. So I appreciate you guys for holding it down and did a great job on the NASCAR segment. Just want to mention that.
Well, you know, sometimes when you just have to step up, it's a next man up mentality here at Main Street Sports Today. So it was fun, and Heather makes it easy. So that was
yeah, just mention something that might have happened and let her go. And she's usually right on the money. So, all right, Iffy Whiffy starting off strong early this afternoon.
Yeah, it didn't take long. Didn't take long to rear its ugly head. That's for sure. So, yeah.
No, it did not. But otherwise, you guys had fun yesterday. Talk a little NFL scheduling. We've got a little bit more on the NFL schedule as it is going to be fully released tonight. But our top story today, or one of our two top stories, there are two, has some interesting connotations around the schedule, but not for this year. So there's that. And could be some interesting stuff coming up in a couple of years. So we'll get to that in just a moment. We've got MAREN Angus, who's going to talk a little SEC softball with us. It might as well be. It's just about it's stick and ball day here, almost exclusively. Outside of our top story, everything else will be baseball or softball today.
Hey.
As we'll talk with Tennessee State softball coach GENEE McRATH, who is leading a historic season from 28th and Jefferson, as they're in the OVC tournament for the first time in more than 20 years. And we'll talk to her about what her team is going through right now, and how they're doing, and getting ready for the OVC tournament to continue tomorrow. Again, MAREN Angus, but we'll also talk Braves. I'm no fair weather fan. I'm wearing my gear anyway, win or lose, baby, because I'm expecting a lot of losses over the next 2 months, but we'll get there as well. But also high school baseball. We've got some big tournament, or I guess there are tournaments, big tournaments coming up this weekend. So we'll get into that a little bit as well. All of that and much, much more, Mo, on today's edition of Main Street Sports Today. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. A lot of fun, like you said, catching up on, I guess we were at the region juncture for high school baseball in most cases, and there's a little tweak to what's going on with that. So,
I'm interested to get into that. So looking forward to it. But, well, speaking of the prep baseball schedule, we've got results from yesterday and today's schedule from across prep, college, and pro sports, and we'll get you that now on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
High school baseball action from Wednesday. It was Goodpasture defeating Franklin Grace Christian 8-3. In softball action, it was Beach with a 16-0 win over Hunters Lane. Eagleville defeated Moore County 15-0. Henry County blanked Clarksville Northwest 10-0. Overton with a 13-3 win over Franklin. Lawrence County defeated Marshall County 10-7. It was Lincoln County 7, Page 2. Riverdale with a 7-6 win over Rockvale. Oakland 1, Siegel 0. Stewart's Creek 3, Smyrna 2. It was Smyrna 14, Laverne 1. Station Camp with a 14-4 win over McGavock. Summertown defeated Giles County 2-0. Watertown defeated Cannon County 8-0. It was Westmoreland 6, Watertown 0. Also, it was Independence 7, Summit 5, followed by Nolensville defeating Independence 13-3 in 5 innings in 12-4A. In boys soccer action, Kip Nashville doubled up Westmoreland 8-4, and Greenbrier doubled up White House Heritage 2-1.
College baseball action yesterday. Trevecca advances. Man, Trevecca and Ashland, by the way, were the preseason favorites in the Great Midwest Conference. They were the number 2 and 3 seeds in the tournament, had to play in the losers bracket after both falling to the 6 and 7 seed in the first round. So Trevecca outs Ashland 6-3 in 10 innings yesterday to advance. In junior college play at the tournament at Vol State, Rowan State eliminated Columbia State 6-2, and Vol State survived with a 6-4 win against Motlow State. College softball action, you guys mentioned these yesterday. Jacksonville State was a 10-4 winner over Austin P, likely ending the Lady Gov season. Middle Tennessee State was a 5-4 winner over host Louisiana Tech, and Tennessee State with its first win in program history in the OVC tournament, 3-2 over Lindenwood. Bradley defeated Belmont. Belmont defeated Bradley 2-0. I don't know why that's backwards. In junior college softball action, Chattanooga State was a 12-4 winner over Vol State, but the Lady Pioneers bounced back with a 17-7 win over Cleveland State. In Major League Baseball action, it was the Red Sox 5, the Braves 2, Dodgers 8-1 winners over the Brewers, Mets 2-1 against the Reds, and the Cubs take out some frustration in Game 3 against the Cardinals 10-4. In minor league action, Gwinnett evens the series with a 12-5 win against the Brewskis, a.k.a. the Sounds.
High school baseball action today, a 10 o'clock start for Knoxville Catholic at Brentwood Academy. I dare say that one should be getting close to being over if it's not over. At 5 o'clock, Clay County plays East Robertson, and at 7 o'clock, Joe Burns plays Gordonsville. Softball action today at 5 o'clock, Page plays Lawrence County. Also at 5, Beach is at Station Camp. Smyrna hosts Stewart's Creek at 6. At 7, Riverdale is at Siegel, and Hendersonville takes on visiting Gallatin. Boys soccer action at 5 today. Giles County, coming off of that crazy shootout win over Tullahoma, travels to Murfreesboro Central for a 5 o'clock first touch.
That game has been moved to indoor facility at Siegel Complex.
Oh, wow. Okay. Indoor soccer. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 o'clock, Fayetteville's at Richland. 7 o'clock, Station Camp is at Hendersonville. Also, Columbia Central hosting top seed at Nolensville. Oakland is at Siegel at 8. Times unknown to us. Briarcrest is at Ensworth, and Smyrna goes to Laverne.
College baseball action, again, Trevecca in that loser's bracket. They'll await the loser of the Hillsdale Northwood game, and that game will be played at 5 o'clock, or is scheduled to be played at 5 o'clock. College softball action this afternoon. Belmont will take on Missouri State. That's a 4 o'clock first pitch on ESPN Plus. And Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky will play in the Conference USA tournament. That is an 8 p.m. first pitch now. It was scheduled for 5, then pushed to 7. Now it's at 8. Could be later. Keep an eye on the listings there, but you can watch it on ESPN Plus. And tonight in minor league baseball, Gwinnett and the Sounds continue their series at 6:35 at First Horizon Park. And folks, that is your rundown. All right, we got there. That's good. Those rundowns aren't so bad. The 4 and 5 minute ones.
Yeah, those are manageable. I think we left out a game that, and it's ironic in that we've got Tennessee State softball coach GENEE McRATH joining us in the next segment. Tennessee State began their Ohio Valley Conference tournament game against Southern Indiana yesterday down in Oxford, Alabama. Apparently weather
That's right.
interrupted some things. And so that game was completed this morning, and TSU fell to Southern Indiana 9-1. And I think they come back and play tomorrow. Now I think some games have been pushed to tomorrow. That
game, they were scheduled to play at 5:30 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
but instead they will play the first game tomorrow. That time is TBD currently. But they'll have to play that game, and if they win, they'll have to play immediately following. But that's what happens when you end up on that bottom side. You got to play your way out of it.
Yeah, so I'm sure that Coach McRATH and the Lady Tigers are excited about being there, though, since this is their first tournament appearance in 22 years. So again, we'll be checking in with her in the next segment, but wanted to get that score in somewhere close to the rundown. Yeah.
All right. Top story today, first off, and we'll stay in the NFL for both of these for the most part. But we'll start with the fact that there are reports out there that Central Lions, Columbia Central alumnus Shaq Mason, has signed a 3-year deal with the Houston Texans, $22 million guaranteed, $10 million signing bonus. Pretty solid, but that is a double whammy for us, isn't it, as local fans?
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, I was talking to somebody at the District 12 4A softball tournament yesterday. I hate the thought of the Titans having to play him twice a year, but I'm glad he's getting paid. So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, one, that he's not signing with the Titans, and two, that he is signing with a division opponent. That's just, really unfortunate, especially with where the offensive line sits
for the Titans.
And it's probably, it's probably just unfortunate timing in that, I guess issues and that sort of thing.
I guess he didn't technically hit the open market, though. He was traded by Tampa Bay to Houston, and so it wasn't like he could necessarily negotiate with anybody else. So from his standpoint, there may have been money out there, but he knew this money was there.
That's right. Yeah, you can't turn it down if it's right in front of you, and I don't blame him. But here's the good thing: he will get to play in Nashville every year.
No doubt.
At least once. No. So there's, that was probably part of it. The fact that you're guaranteed, you're not on the other side anymore. You're guaranteed to play in Nashville every year. So at least once a year, you're going to have that big fan base come to support you. So,
no doubt. Hard to believe, man, that this will be his 9th NFL season.
That's wild. So congrats to Shaq for that contract extension. Looking forward to seeing him in both Nissan Stadium and the new Nashville Stadium, whatever it may be called.
Mm-hmm.
Top story number 2, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in the NFL, there was a report from, and I'm citing Front Office Sports on this one, that Jacksonville, y'all talked about yesterday, they have 2 games in London back to back this year.
Right.
But renovations to TIAA Stadium are going to render that stadium useless to the Jaguars and to anyone else who may play football games there, Georgia and Florida, in 2025 and 2026.
For 2 years, that stadium's going to be shut down? Or for 2 football seasons?
For 2 football seasons, it will be shut down. Wow. Is Jacksonville going to play their games in London?
Man, it's a heck of a question. They're already playing 2 over there this year, like you said. I guess stranger things have happened, and the NFL certainly seems to be trying to cultivate a fan base over there and cultivate one for the Jaguars. Again, they're playing over there back-to-back weeks in this upcoming season.
I really wish they would brand this the Monarchs when they play there. It would just be cool.
That would be funny.
To kind of bring back that NFL Europe / WLAF.
We laugh.
Yeah, the we'll laugh. That was always and I loved their color scheme, the gold helmets with the big crown on it. That was just super cool. I'd love to see that. But not only does it affect them, but again, like I said, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party will need to.
I thought that they had ceased and desisted.
They did. No one has. I am in no way bound to the requests of Greg Sankey unless he wants to, revoke our credentials. And at that
Hey,
point, I will then
don't give them any ideas.
at that point, I will then,
Stand down.
stand down. I will then cease and desist in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Yeah, let's not let it get to that point.
But
Yeah,
if not Jacksonville, where do they play? Because they can't play in Jacksonville. The
Well-
only other stadium is like a 12,000 seat stadium because it's some small college. I mean, do you move them to Tallahassee or Gainesville or
no, I think you move them on campus.
no? I'm talking about Jacksonville
Oh,
Jaguars.
I thought you meant the world's largest.
No, the cocktail party I think will absolutely go on campus at least for 2 years, and that's the problem. Is once it's there, I don't know that you can put it back.
I think that ends it right there, because I think that there are too many people that want to see it on campus anyway.
So,
But yeah, I don't know where Jacksonville winds up. Maybe they do wind up in London.
I mean, it just with the ownership, it makes sense. But if not, can you play there 8-9 times a year? Can you force 8 teams to go over there? Is that worth it? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what the alternative is. I don't think you're going to play in Tallahassee
or Gainesville or anywhere else.
San Antonio?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Or St. Louis. That'll never happen. The NFL and St. Louis are done.
No.
But
We
San
will never,
Antonio-
ever, to quote a artist who spent a little time here last weekend, we are never getting back together.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think San Antonio would be an option and a good option at that. So anyway, just thoughts. I think, Jacksonville has been kind of hinting it wants to go overseas anyway, with the ownership, obviously having his other team being over there. I think it just makes a lot of sense. So I would not be surprised to see it at all. No, not at all. You guys touched on the overseas games yesterday, but there were some other games that were announced. Black Friday, Jets, Dolphins on Amazon Prime at 3:00. Do you know why it's a 3:00 kick, Mo?
I don't. To get away from high school football? I don't know. Why is it a 3:00 kick?
Well, because they're not allowed to play during high school football. So they have to be done by 7.
The NFL is not allowed to play during the high school football
Their
window.
legislation in 1947, or I'm sorry, 1967, not 47. 1967, there was legislation passed, signed by John F. Kennedy, that would not allow the National Football League to play games on Friday or Saturday until mid-December.
Well,
I didn't know that.
I wish he had expanded that to college, but
No, it is. They cannot play on Friday or Saturday until mid-December. That's why they don't play Saturdays until after Christmas.
So you're saying that
now, you remember at the time, Saturday was not a big deal after the first weekend in December for college in 1967. But yes, there's legislation in place that keeps the NFL from playing during Friday nights or on Saturdays until mid-December in trying to keep them away from college and high school football. It's wild. I learned that yesterday.
TIL. Well, YIL. Huh? Yesterday you learned. Yeah,
I did, in fact. But anyway, that was a pretty big one. Then I think New Year's Eve is it Cincinnati and Kansas City, I think, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one of the two. So that should be fun as well. We're going to take a break though, because we have our guest standing by. So we'll go to her in just a few moments. If you guys will stick around with us, we have GENEE McRATH of Tennessee State softball coming up on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll come back to the Lee Company studio in just a minute. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline, whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are in the Lee Company studio, and we're glad to have you guys with us here on this Thursday edition of the show, which is always one of our favorite shows because it means Coach's Corner is coming up, and we get to talk with a local coach in the area, and super excited to do that today as we are joined by Tennessee State softball coach. And correct me if I'm wrong, Coach. I may have said this completely wrong. GENEE McRATH, is that correct? Is that your first name?
Yes, GENEE. You said it correct.
All right, fantastic. Well, we appreciate you.
Right.
We appreciate you joining us here today, Coach. I know you guys are deep in the OVC tournament, so taking some time away from that, we certainly appreciate it, and looking forward to talking with you. How are things going?
This is going. Today could have been better, but we're here and we're in the mix, so that's all I can ask for.
And being there and being in the mix is a good thing when you consider that this is the first time Tennessee State has been in the mix at the Ohio Valley Conference softball tournament since 2001. So congratulations, part of a, as Chris said in our opening segment, a historical season for you guys. So congratulations. I know things didn't go the way you wanted yesterday afternoon / this morning in the
Correct.
9-1 loss to Southern Indiana. But hey, so when do you guys play again? First of all,
Up in the air, but tentatively 10 o'clock in the morning,
Ag-
provided that there's no weather delays or anything like that for the rest of the evening.
okay. Again, you just roll with the weather delays and everything else, I guess, at this point, just because you're glad to be there, right?
Yeah, I mean, in this game, that's just a part of it, you know. Rain delays, thundering. You just have to be ready to go at any time. You know, it could be a 2-hour delay. I mean, yesterday we were just trying to keep our girls up, get their mindset, you know, where it needs to be to try to go back out there and compete. But it ended up being canceled for the evening and then picked up this morning. So, you know, it's just a part of any outdoor sports, and it's our season, so we just have to go with it.
Well, you guys have certainly rolled with the punches all year long, starting the season 4-0 in both overall and then in conference play. Both of those were obviously historic starts to your season, and looking for a historical end to it, as you know, you guys are playing in the OVC tournament again for the first time in 2 decades and got a win for the first time in school history in the OVC tournament. What has kind of led to this complete 180 of this team? You know, obviously this has been a team that struggled for years and years on the softball diamond, but you know, you guys have turned it around this year. What do you attribute that to?
The players first and foremost, our coaching staff, the recruits that we're bringing in, and honestly, just being honest with our kids. Like, I don't sugarcoat it with them. I tell them nobody respects you in the OVC. I keep it as clear and vulnerable with them as possible. And it is true. Like, the program hasn't been strong in a while. And so for that, people aren't looking at us to be able to compete. And so for me, it's just one thing at a time, and stepping on the field and competing every pitch. Then you put yourself in a position to be able to win those games. But we kind of switch it up. So my philosophy is playing a hard schedule. I'm not afraid to go up against anybody, Power Fives, the big names, conference, big mid-majors, anyone. I think being in those games and being in that environment, it pushes our girls. And so with that, it prepares us for the moment that we're in now. You know, in conference, we had a lot of one-loss games prior to getting to conference. And so learning how to fight back showed up big time for us in game 1. Not giving up, having that, you know, killer instinct to keep going. I mean, we were 2 outs and down our last out, and, you know, we tied the game up. So just knowing that they had been in those situations prior to yesterday's first round game prepared us to be able to come out with the W. So it's not necessarily where you start, it's how you finish, right? And so for us, being prepared to be tested in that moment, they were ready for it.
Those moments prepare you for it just from a confidence standpoint, letting you know that you can get it done down to your last out like that, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I just told them all, like, what do you have to lose? You know, you got to give it everything you have. And so the girls have really bought in. You know, it's been a season where we're pushing them to the max. We're asking them to do things that they haven't done. For those that have been a part of the program for a while, they haven't had to do. And so that's, you know, come with some difficulty and challenges. But when you're building a program and trying to build a culture, you're going to have those ebbs and flows. And so we just continue to understand that this is new to them. And the same way that we told them yesterday, this is their first time, but this is my first time being here too. So we're all gaining the experience of understanding what it feels like to be in championship play. And that's different. No preseason can prepare you for that moment if you've never been in there. They say, you know, championship teams, they understand what it's like to show up on that stage when they're in that moment. And so for our girls, we're learning it on the fly, coaches as well, in the OVC. So we're experiencing this as a first, but we're taking it under our belt so that when we come back next year, we'll understand the flow of things. We'll know how things go, and we'll be a little bit more prepared. But we still got a lot of work to do in this tournament. So, you know, like, we're ready for our next game.
Whenever that is.
Yes, whatever that is. We just want the next game. So we need the rain to, like, hold off, stay away. But we want that next game. And for me, it's always been a big thing to show that HBCUs in general can produce high quality softball teams. I think sometimes people overlook it just because you think HBCU and you may not think that you're going to have quality coaching or you're going to play, quality teams and things of that nature. So for me, it is pushing the agenda that we are a strong softball team, period.
Shown that over the course of the season, among your victories, which this is the third 20-win season in TSU softball history, but among those wins, defeated SEMO, the top seed in the tournament, defeated UT Martin at Martin, breaking an 18-game losing streak to them, defeated Tennessee Tech. I mean, you guys picked some folks off that had not traditionally been the case, and I guess all of that leads up to the confidence that you guys rolled into this tournament with.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it allowed our kids to know that they can compete with anybody in our conference. Getting those wins and playing those close games, it just built that level of confidence that they hadn't had because we had been in close games previously but not been able to pull out the win. And so, it's hard to keep fighting that uphill battle when you don't see any light at the end of it. And for them, now they see the light. They know that they belong. I think before they may have felt that they belong, but we hadn't seen the W to go with it. I think now they're starting to know that they belong.
And that's something that comes with time, Coach, but it's also pretty exciting when you can jump several hurdles in a season, and it makes it even easier to sell your program to a future recruit when you're not taking things so slow. If you can jump a couple of hurdles, make the tournament, win a game in the tournament, really compete for the OVC, that's got to be a positive when you are, obviously recruiting, but also recruiting inside your locker room. As we all know, with the transfer portal and all of those things, it can be very difficult. So, being able to compete quickly is important.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's not so much that it's quickly. It appears that way, but a lot of these girls have been competing for a while, and especially since my time here, we just haven't been able to put it all together. And so I think that from the outside looking in, it looks like, they're having an historic season, which we are. But at times we have to, as a staff, we have to take a look back because we're like, some of these games that we're losing, we wholeheartedly feel we should win because we see the hard work that they're putting in. We see what we're doing and where we're showing up. And so when they make an error or something, or, miss field ball or bad hit swing or whatever the case may be, from the outside, sometimes they're looking at it like, oh, they're almost there. They're so close and they're getting so much better from the coaching staff. But we're like, no, you do that every day in practice. Like, you got to have that. So for me, it's not so much of it happening quickly, but changing their mindsets quickly, changing their mindsets of understanding, like, you want that ball every single time. Same thing for this morning. We knew it was going to be a big task, but we started out, Anaya Baker picked up with a 2-2 count and got a walk on base. And then we have a hit followed behind her. And then we just unfortunately had an untimely hit that turned into a double play. But they started to pick up the momentum of understanding that they were supposed to be in that moment. And so for me, it's more so the mindset than anything else. That's the biggest thing that, we're wanting to change quickly.
As you look through, as I look through this roster, you take a look, and we all, anyone who knows anything about softball knows it starts in the circle. Mm-hmm. And Caitlin Manis has been a huge, part of this, of the success of this program. 16 wins on the year, really showing that pitching at Tennessee State is as legitimate as anywhere else. Local kid,
Yeah.
how important is that to show that, hey, Middle Tennessee kids can play at this level and we want them to play here with us.
Oh, that's huge. That's one of our strategies, is trying to make sure that our local kids hear from us, they see us. I think for so long, for whatever reason, TSU hasn't been present softball-wise, hasn't been present in our local recruits. And that's a big get for us because Middle Tennessee is a hotbed for talent. And so we want to make sure that we're going after everybody, regardless if they commit to us or not. You're going to hear from us, and so we want that. You can fill the stadium, you can have fans, and you keep that line open, and we continue to get better and better. And so for me, we definitely want to make sure that we are recruiting in state, locally, getting the top talent. But I think Kate is showing, or is prime example of, you can come to Tennessee State, you can win here, you can be successful. She got second team OVC honored, you can win awards, and so she's knocking off all those check boxes for student athletes that are looking to make a decision to say, well, I don't know if I'll get this here, or I need to go somewhere else where I can be competitive so that I can showcase. So she's showing that you can do it here, and also Annika Spencer, another local kid that's tearing it up for us this year, and so we want to keep building on that. We want to keep building our local fan base. We want to keep building the local kids that we're bringing into the program, coming to our camps, things of that nature.
GENEE McRATH, the Tennessee State fifth-year softball coach, joining us on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill, and on the Real Property Solutions hotline with us from Oxford, Alabama, site of the OVC tournament.
Been there a few times, Mo.
I bet you have. I, on the other hand, have not. But, Coach, unfortunately, with weather delays and this kind of thing, it leads to a lot of time in the hotel as you are currently. How are things?
It's not bad. We keep them on a tight schedule. So we've got our whole staff here. So our trainer, our strength and conditioning coach. So they're not having as much downtime as one would think. They're having, team stretches. We're having meetings. We're going over little things that we can while we have this downtime to adjust, balls that they're seeing from a swing perspective, reads that we may have missed. So we're working diligently while we're in the hotel. And on top of that, they need the rest. Yesterday was a long day for us, and we plan for tomorrow to be a long day as well. So they got to rest when they can.
Now, you guys are out of class, though, right?
I've got some that are in Maymester, and so we've got some that are trying to make sure they're doing that. And we also have a graduate student that her class is still in session as we speak. So not all of them.
Oh, sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. Hey, as Chris was mentioning, the recruiting aspect of the success that you're having, and it kind of feeds off of itself. But I would imagine when you head over to Spring Fling down in Murfreesboro here in a couple of weeks in your TSU gear and that kind of thing, makes it a little easier for you to walk around down there and get some audiences with some folks.
Oh, for sure. We'll welcomingly receiving all of that. So, we want to make sure that when people recognize us, they can associate us with TSU softball. And we just want to start those conversations. We want it to be genuine. The one thing that we are very matter of fact about is that we want kids that want to come to TSU. We don't want it to be a last-ditch effort. We are building something special, and I wholeheartedly believe that, but we want people that are bought into this mission. Because it's only up from here.
Why? Give us your elevator pitch, Coach. Why should a softball student in Middle Tennessee, a softball recruit, think about Tennessee State?
Why not us? That's been our logo all year. That's
okay.
That's it. Why not us? It's simple. I can go and spin that many different ways, but you're going to get quality coaching. You're going to travel. You're going to play the top programs in the country, not just in our conference. You're going to get better. You're going to be a better person overall from the time you get here to the time you leave. You're going to be pushed. You're going to be challenged. You're going to be ready for real life. And so our motto is, why not us? I want kids that's got a chip on their shoulder, that feels they've been overlooked, that's got something to prove. We want that. So yeah, why not us?
And why would you not want to go to school in Nashville, right?
The traffic, some may say, but lucky for them, they don't have to go far. They just kind of bounce around right there. But yeah, Nashville is a hotbed. It's a hotbed. And so we definitely use that for a recruiting tool. when we're looking at, kids that are out of state, it's normally the parents more so than the kids that fall in love with the city versus, the kids. They're just looking for the school and softball and things of that nature. But the parents, they all want to go downtown and Broadway and all of that. Hey, go for it.
Hey, listen, as someone who understands the process, what your parents want does make at least a little bit of a difference. So, and then sometimes it makes a pretty big difference the other way.
We want to steer on the side of the good side. We want it to be in our favor.
I think it would be a positive. Coach GENEE McRATH on the Real Property Solutions Hotline and Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Coach, thank you for taking some time with us today. We really appreciate it, and good luck as you continue this historic run for Tennessee State softball. Yes,
thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've got more to do, so we want to be here till Saturday, and hopefully, we can be talking to you guys again about the selection.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That'll be good. We will certainly keep that in mind. We like the sound of that, Coach. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Again, that's Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Don't forget to go see Renee Hart and the fine folks at From the Heart Cafe. She's keeping you fed and happy. I promise you, you will not leave hungry or upset. Not one time, will you, Mo?
No.
Have you ever left there hungry or upset?
Neither.
Not never.
I might have been upset that I was overstuffed, but that's about it. Yeah.
That's pretty much that's it. So, and also Real Property Solutions, give them a call, 615-527-8750, proud sponsor of our hotline. Give them a call to sell your house. If you're looking to sell, they'll buy it as is, take what you want, leave what you don't. You don't have to worry about cleaning it, and they will take it. So feel free to give them a call and let them know that the fine folks at Main Street Sports Today gave you their number,
which is
615-527-8750. There
we go.
Before we get out of here, let's hand out a little hardware, Mo.
Let's do. Where are we going first?
The End-to-End Life Team of the Week, presented by CustomStonehandlers.com. 931-490-4990 is their phone number, and they proudly encourage young people to get in the game. This is a big one. And
it's huge.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. The Columbia Central Lions baseball team seeded number 5 heading into the District 12 4A tournament. All they did was knock off Ravenwood 9-5 in 8 innings and then defeat host and top seed Independence 8-5 to play their way into the tournament championship game. So, and a region tournament berth as well.
There you go. By getting to that championship game and Independence being on the other side of them, they ensured themselves a berth in the region, which is a pretty phenomenal turnaround. So well done to Columbia Central Baseball for picking it up when it needed to be picked up. Got to be playing your best baseball this time of year, don't you, Mo?
Absolutely. It's a tournament game.
They certainly are. Now we go to the MTBJ, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week, and this one comes from rugby.
And it comes from Columbia Central as well. Junior Kara Workman scored 3 tries as Columbia Central literally ran up and down the field last Saturday in a 77-5. Yes, 77-5 state championship victory over Riverdale. The program's second state championship following their win in 2018 to go along with a couple of state runner-up finishes. But yeah, Kara Workman was right in the middle of all of that, both on offense and defense. And so she is our Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations to her.
Well done to Kara Workman. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Braves chatter and anything else that may be happening in Major League Baseball. MAREN Angus still set to join us at 3 o'clock. Talk a little SEC softball and that and more coming up on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all stick around. We'll be back to the Lee Company studio after this.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
There is nothing better than drinking an ice-cold beverage while taking in a Nashville Sounds baseball game. Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller with Mornings on Main Street. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television have teamed up to promote Sunday Family Fun Day here at First Horizon Park each Sunday home game. Just go to your favorite Main Street Media website and click on Sounds Main Street Media Day banner to register to win free tickets. And then we'll see you here at the ballpark.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
May 11th, 1977, Braves owner Ted Turner becomes Braves manager Ted Turner. With the team on a 16-game skid, Turner steps in for Dave Bristol. With coach Vern Benson handling most of the in-game decisions, Atlanta drops its 17th straight, 2-1 at Pittsburgh, before the National League cites a rule preventing dual owner-manager roles. Bristol resumes duties for the following game and finishes out the 1977 campaign. That was this day in Braves history.
Yeah. Thank goodness Ted wasn't the manager long.
Yeah. I don't think whatever turnaround was going to take place under Ted.
There wasn't going to be a Ted Turner around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great owner, not so great manager.
Well, at least he picked some good ones after that.
Know your role.
Exactly.
Your role. Yep.
That's it. Well, last night Atlanta was unfortunately on the business end of a 400th save for former closer and longtime Braves fan Kenley Jansen.
Yeah,
also,
you didn't see that fandom last night, apparently.
Now, I saw him fan 3 Braves hitters.
Well, there you go.
That's the only fanning that was happening.
Look at you. You're just sharp as a pen
take-
today, aren't you?
You take a day off, Mo, and come back refreshed and ready to
Refresh.
go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, and
Well,
Chris
well
Martin.
hopefully that off day will have the same effect for the Braves, who are off today.
Let's hope so. Obviously, with the backside of the rotation coming up, I don't even know what to expect. Is Strider set to pitch this weekend? I'm sure he is at some point. But I have no idea right now. By the way, Michael Soroka has been moved to pitch today against the Sounds, which means it's likely that Dylan Dodd would pitch on Sunday. Doesn't sound like he's going to get a start in Nashville. So that's interesting information, I think.
Strider is the starter tomorrow at Toronto against former Mets starter Chris Bassett. Elder on Saturday. TBD on Sunday.
Sunday is TBD. Yeah, and
which is better than the Mets, who are TBDs for all 4 of their upcoming series. I don't even remember who it was against, but yeah, they've got 4 straight TBDs for the weekend series,
and that's not ideal. But
I think it's very ideal. Actually,
I'm not real worried about them.
Well, it's against the Nationals, so it may not matter. But you know,
well, I mean, they did lose 2 of 3 to the Nationals earlier this year.
Yeah.
And one thing is we miss former Brave Kevin Gossman, who pitched against the Phillies yesterday, so that's nice. But then said the Phillies had the best lineup top to bottom in the National League. So
that's what Gossman said?
That's what Gossman said. So I don't know that I take much of what he has to say seriously these days.
Well, I mean, I can see why he might be a little chapped at the Braves, but the fact of the matter is Kevin Gossman has pitched well everywhere he's been in his major league career except Atlanta. And I don't know
he
why
wasn't terrible in Atlanta. He just didn't live up to what we needed. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't a number 1 guy. He was a number 4 guy.
I'm not even sure he was a number 4 guy when he was here, but I mean, he certainly wasn't in Atlanta what he was anywhere else before.
Anywhere else. It is absolutely insane. Let me go back to his Atlanta year, because 3-7 in 2019 before being dealt to the Reds, but was 5-3 in 18
when he came over from Baltimore, where he
with
had
with a 2.87 ERA.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in 19.
19, he completely took off I don't know what he was doing, but he threw 80 innings for us and was just awful. I mean, from
6.19 ERA. And I mean, I don't need advanced stats or sabermetrics or analytics or whatever it is we're calling it to know 6.19 is not good.
No, it is not, in fact. So yeah, he was in 18. He was not bad and helped us get to the postseason that year, but not great.
Now, since then, he was 14-6 2 years ago at San Francisco and 12-10 with Toronto last year. So back-to-back double-digit win seasons for him after he got out of here.
Now, in addition to Michael Soroka being moved to pitch today for Gwinnett, it likely means that Dodd or Schuster will pitch Sunday. But I don't know if you've noticed this. In Texas next week, it's Morton, TBD, then Strider, Elder. And Tuesday would be the 5th day
Soroka
between Michael Soroka starts.
So there you go.
I think they're going to stretch him tonight and see what happens.
I don't think it's if But when Soroka comes up, I mean, with these two spots in the rotation that Freed and Wright have vacated, I don't think you can expect to just slot Dodd and Schuster in there. I think one of these is going to be Soroka really soon.
Yeah, and that's what's unfortunate is the Braves went from, hoping Soroka's able to produce something to needing
Needing him
Soroka
to produce something. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a really unfortunate situation for Michael Soroka because he doesn't necessarily deserve that pressure.
No, not coming off the injuries that he's coming off of the time that he has spent out of the majors. He should be able to ease his way back in a lot better than he's going to be able to. I mean, maybe he's the first guy in a bullpen game. Maybe you try to get 3 innings out of him and then hand it off. I'll tell you what.
That would actually not be a terrible idea because he's not pitched more than 4 in the minors. If you could get 3 or 4 out of him as an opener, that would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And that may be the way you have to go about it, just to ease him back in and kind of take some pressure off. Because like you said, he doesn't deserve to be thrown into the fire and matched up with somebody's number 1 or something like that. So.
Yeah. And then if you get anything out of the bullpen like you did yesterday from Dylan Lee, I mean, Dylan Lee pitched inning and 2/3 of perfect baseball. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better from Dylan Lee.
Well, you could have asked for more though, and you probably should have gotten more. I don't know. I guess they were just one time through the order and locked into that. But I mean,
he didn't even get he didn't get all the way through the order.
Did he not?
He pitched perfect baseball and only got 5 outs. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
Other than pitch numbers. Pitch count's the only thing I can think of.
It makes no sense, but we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. The way he manages the bullpen is just brutal. It's the one thing that he does so poorly. And Alex Anthopoulos has done everything he can to make the bullpen so talented that he can't screw it up, and he still manages to screw it up. Because that's the thing is that, and this has been my argument from day one, is that the Atlanta Braves have out-talented Brian Snitker's managing. From day one, they have done that. Okay. And
well, I mean, that's the thing. And Brian Snitker has a job in Atlanta for as long as he wants one because he won a World Series. But the fact of the matter is,
and 5 division titles in a row.
They have won in spite of him, not because of him.
I'm 100% in agreement with that statement.
I mean, I feel like there are a number of managers that could do what Brian Snitker has done with, like you said, with the talent that he's had at his disposal.
I think most managers would have done far more.
So,
but that's, it doesn't matter. We can gripe about it all we want. Never gonna
he ain't
change.
Going nowhere.
He ain't going anywhere, so we might as well get over it. But
he ain't going nowhere, and Snit gonna snit. So,
and Alex has done everything he can to make this bullpen so talented that they can out talent his managing. And right now they've not done it. They've not been able to quite put that together.
And I tell you, Iglesias didn't help the situation last night.
Closers in non-save situations, Mo. Closers in non-save situations. How many times have we had this conversation?
Too many. Because I don't understand it.
It's the weirdest thing.
But it's a thing, though. I mean, it's absolutely a thing, but I don't understand it.
It's like they just go out there willy-nilly with ho-hum on their brain and I'm gonna go get my pitches and whatever. But
your job is still to win the game, whether it's going to get you a save or not.
And AJ Minter looked terrible throwing what? Of course, the first pitch was a strike. He just didn't get it. and didn't look good on the. Yeah, I think he threw 5 straight balls, then walked 2 people. It was just bad overall. And here's the thing: up until Iglesias, the bullpen game had given you a chance to win. All you had to do was score some runs. They didn't score any runs.
Yeah, and
that's the worst part about all of it. Is if you just score some runs.
As good as this Atlanta offense has been all year. Of course, now you're talking about in game 37 of 162 game season. So, I mean, again, we weren't going to go undefeated.
No.
But it would have been nice.
They've not scored fewer than 4 runs. They've scored fewer than 4 runs just twice since
last night.
Since losing at against Houston on the 23rd of April.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time they scored fewer than 4 runs.
Wow. So they were due.
Yeah. I mean, this just is what it is. So anyway, Toronto tomorrow. We'll talk about it. I'm going to remind our next guest that we're ready. And we'll go to a break. Take that. When we come back, we'll talk SEC softball on the other side of it with MAREN. Angus Combs of the Running Polls podcast and all the other things that she does. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone, and join us back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Attention Tennessee homeowners, we want to buy your house. Hi, we are Real Property Solutions, a local real estate investing group. We pay cash for all types of property, so you walk away with more money in your pocket because we eliminate any fees, closing costs, and commissions. Now the best part, we can buy your house as is, meaning you don't have to do a thing to your property. You get to take what you want, leave what you don't, and don't even worry about cleaning. We close on your timeline. whether that's 7 days or 70 days. Interested in selling? Just give us a call and we'll come out to your property and quote you a cash offer within 24 hours. Please call 615-527-8750. That's 615-527-8750.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here with you on this Thursday edition as we getting you ready for softball. Plenty of softball talk to go around. In ASUN play, Austin Peay was eliminated yesterday by Jacksonville State. Today, Jacksonville State eliminated by Liberty. So the ASUN, the defending ASUN champs continuing to defend their title, the Flames. And in SEC play right now, Auburn and Ole Miss are on the diamond. Ole Miss just took a big lead in the third inning, 4-2 over Auburn. And that game will be followed by Georgia, South Carolina, who ousted Texas A&M yesterday. Alabama and Arkansas. Alabama took down Missouri. And Tennessee, Florida in the nightcap. Florida taking care of Kentucky in that one. So,
actually, Tennessee, Florida in the lid lifter tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow at this point?
10 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, you never know at this point. Times be damned at this point for
they're suggestions pretty much at this point. So yeah.
Anyway, the bracket is and quarterfinals are set, and boy, this is one of my favorite times of the year, Mo, because the SEC softball tournament is seriously this and the Pac-12 tournament. They are as good as the national tournament because the teams are all good enough to be there. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to talking with Maren. She is wrangling a toddler right now, and if anyone knows about that, it's me. So I'm going to give her all the grace that she needs as we get ready.
Is she rocking Hank, Chris?
No, I hope she is. That is still one of the weirdest things. Oh man, just don't even get me started on that. I wish I knew if she was rocking Hank today. A little Bocephus action. In the ACC tournament, Virginia Tech in the bottom of the sixth leads to Louisville 9-8. So that's an interesting development there. Is Louisville trying to take down the 22nd ranked Hokies. Ole Miss has added another 2 runs. They now lead 6-2 in the top of the third against Auburn. Texas and Texas Tech are in the fourth, tied at 2 in the Big 12 tournament. So
that'd be a bit of an upset if Ole Miss hangs on. 11 seeded Ole Miss.
It will, in fact, and Auburn fans who are just angry, by the way, at the D1 rankings are as they sit behind a bunch of teams that they took series from this year. In the rankings, they're just like, are you kidding me right now? SEC with 2 top 10 teams, and then I think 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all SEC teams.
Oh, goodness.
So just outside the top 10, it's SEC. But we'll talk a little bit more about that as we welcome in on the Real Property Solutions Hotline, Maren Angus Combs, who is still wrangling a toddler, but at least she's got snacks, and snacks is what matters, right? Snacks are life.
What are you eating? Pretzels. We got some Dots pretzels hanging out with us today.
Yes. Snacks are life. This segment brought to you proudly by Dots Pretzels.
There you go. Yeah. Maren, thanks for taking some time with us, you and your youngster. We were just kind of working through the SEC bracket, and Ole Miss up 6-2 on Auburn as we speak, coming off of a 5-3 10-inning win yesterday over 6 seed LSU. What's gotten into Ole Miss here over the last couple of days?
As soon as I heard Chris say that they were up, you couldn't see me, but my jaw was actually on the floor. So I honestly don't know what's gotten into Ole Miss the last couple of days, but we've seen it before. So I'm not totally surprised. I know the coaching staff is different than before, but we have seen Ole Miss be a lower ranked seed and come through and win the tournament. So, I mean, I know lightning doesn't really strike the same place twice, but it could happen.
It does seem to strike often in Oxford when things like this happen. It seems to go well for the Rebs. So that's that. And this is a tournament again that Mo, we just said it. Anyone can win this tournament because every team is pretty good, and you never know what to expect because again, it's tournament sport. So would you be surprised, Maren, if we saw someone like Ole Miss or even like a Florida win this thing?
Okay, so Florida, I would not be surprised if they won because Florida traditionally is just a good program, and they always find a way to end up in Oklahoma City. So I'm not totally surprised if Florida would make a run. I think for me, the surprise right now is South Carolina. I couldn't believe they won earlier against Texas A&M, and I would have my eyes on South Carolina right now.
Well, they've got a really good pitcher, though, right?
South Carolina.
I mean, I know everybody in the SEC has a really good pitcher, but they've got. I think South Carolina's got a particularly good pitcher, don't they?
Yes, they do, and she was able to shut down Texas A&M. I mean, A&M's offense has been hot lately, especially Julia Cottrell. She was named Player of the Week a couple weeks ago when she hit 4 home runs against her dad, who is a coach at Mizzou. That was awesome to see, and I was very impressed with South Carolina.
Donnie Goborn is the pitcher. Yeah. And,
yes.
I don't have any stats at my disposal, but I've seen her name come up a lot relative to South Carolina softball. I mean, she's pretty much a rock star over there.
Yeah. And that's a team that's been struggling. I mean, and struggling, I think, gives them extra credit because the last couple of years they have been hanging out in the cellar, and all of a sudden, you never know when the team gets hot. And if they can get hot now, it only helps them and their resume to potentially get into the tournament.
And that's a program, Maren, that historically has been really, really good. I mean, it just kind of speaks to the SEC. They wait for no one. If you drop off, there's no mercy. I mean, but that's a team that has had some success historically.
Absolutely. I mean, you look, they've been in the championship game of the SEC tournament before, so this isn't anything new for them to come on strong at the end and make a run. Hello. Wrangling a toddler should be an SEC sport as well. So
I agree. I would like to go on record as to saying I agree with that statement. Well, they're going to have to go through Georgia to get there, and Georgia, the number 2 seed in the conference, is just playing outside of their minds. I mean, I did not see Georgia being the number 2 seed in this conference at the beginning of the year. Did you or anyone else?
I don't know if anyone did except for Georgia. Let's be honest, because coming into this season, I think we knew Tennessee was going to be good. And we knew Alabama was going to be in there. We didn't know where because the pitching at Alabama and
Sure.
Auburn, we knew the pitching at Auburn was going to be strong. So we knew those 2 schools were going to find themselves in the mix. But I think Georgia was a question mark because we just didn't know what the defense and what the pitching was going to be like in the SEC for them. But Georgia can always hit. if there's one thing you can count on the Bulldogs for, it's their offense. So I'm not surprised that I'm not surprised they're in the top 4. However, I am surprised they're in the top 2.
Georgia went through a coaching change prior to this season. Is that right?
Not this season. Last season.
Was it not this season? Okay, my bad. My bad. This is his second year, Tony Baldwin.
Yes.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Tony Baldwin was the assistant coach at Georgia before he was elevated to head coach. So it's not he's not new to the program. He's been there for a long time, and he's been in charge of the offense. So as far as a program goes, that they're under the same the same guy that's been guiding them to these high numbers that the offense produces.
Mo, I would just like to point out that on their coaching staff, they have at Georgia. I'm trying to get his JT D'Amico.
Okay.
He's an assistant coach. You know what his Twitter handle is? @Sid_Finch.
2 D's?
Just one. Just one. But I
Oh.
think that's I think it's SYD.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think he was just kind of trying to play on something there, but I thought that was interesting to point out. I'm
That
just
is
saying
interesting.
I'm kind of a fan at this point just for that reference.
That's
So
pretty
there's
cool.
that. But also other, for Tennessee to be the number 1 seed, it must it's pretty rough right now because obviously the 6 and 7 seeds go down on the top half of the bracket, and now you're stuck with Arkansas, Alabama, and Florida on the bottom side for you. It's like Tennessee said, wow, they couldn't have made this any more difficult, could they? And so can Tennessee find their way through this thing? I mean, my goodness, that's rough.
I'm going to try to get her out of this. Okay.
She's fine. Listen, my
She's
kid
out.
is on our show all the time.
Look, she got bored. She's out.
Asleep. That's
She's
amazing.
eating pretzels and sleeping
At the same time. And that's
at the same
impressive.
time. Oh. Anyway.
That's wild.
Anyway, Tennessee, I think they were the favorite coming into the season. They were, we knew they had a good, strong pitching staff. We knew that they had Kiki Malloy, right? I mean, does it get any better than her right now? And then I think what we're waiting on is to see what the rest of that lineup produces. Boo Gibson over, at first right now. I mean, we know she can hit. And they just had to put it all together. And they have been basically dominant in the SEC this year. And I think, the sky's the limit for them. I think they would have to hit a major, major pothole to not make it to the World Series.
Shh. Yeah. Calm down, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Slow your roll.
We're just,
BVS,
we have battered ball syndrome, Maren.
It's real, Maren. It really is.
I know. I understand, but here's the thing to look at. If we can go more in depth with this too. So the offense at Tennessee has been incredible, and I think that's in part to Chris Malvo. And if you look, because Chris came from Mizzou, okay? I was just looking at these stats the other day. So Chris was the assistant coach at Mizzou in charge of hitting, and that was when Mizzou was solid, right? They were doing their thing. They were causing trouble. They made it to the finals of the SEC tournament. The only hiccup was that they were ineligible for a couple of years because of the NCAA violations. So, but overall, the numbers have been there for Mizzou. Without Chris, Mizzou's numbers have steadily gone down. And then if you look at Tennessee, since he got there, their numbers have steadily gone up. So it shows you just how important he is to a coaching staff and what that's his thing. Hitting is his thing. Look at anywhere he's been, and those teams have been able to hit. He was at Louisiana Lafayette for a while. They know how to hit. It's just who he is, and I think that was the best pickup that Tennessee could make, was getting him as a coach.
And did I see MAREN, does Kiki Malloy's 20 home runs, does that make her the first 20 home run hitter in a season in UT softball history? Is that right? Is that what I saw?
It's the school record, so it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there you go.
But in addition to that, she's also announced she will return next season. So that's huge for Karen Weekly and the Lady Vols.
Huge. Like, incredible. I mean, if you think about that lineup, who are they going to lose?
Yeah, I'm excited about this Tennessee team, and I agree with you. I think that Oklahoma City or bust is kind of the moniker for this team. And, whatever you do in the SEC tournament is fantastic. You want to win the thing. But as we all know, the SEC tournament really doesn't mean a whole lot in the world of what the NCAA is going to do because they kind of expect the SEC tournament to be a crapshoot. As it should be. It should be expected that it's going to be a crapshoot because you're playing a really good team every single time out. So that's good news for Tennessee fans and that sort of thing. As they again will have Florida tomorrow, and then the winner of Arkansas, Alabama, should they defeat the Gators. MAREN, thank you for wrangling a toddler and taking some time with us today. We appreciate it. Looking forward to this SEC tournament and college softball across the country right now is just exciting. So we're looking forward to it.
I do have a question for y'all.
What's that?
Is this the most excited you've been about a Tennessee softball team since maybe the Renfro sisters?
Yes. Okay. Look, and going into this year, I knew that they were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be SEC champion good, but I didn't know much about what Arkansas, and I certainly didn't expect Auburn to be top 3. Didn't expect Georgia to be top 2. So, you just never really kind of know what to expect. You feel like you could be number 1 or number 5 and still feel good about yourself. Yeah. At the end of the year. So that's what the SEC is like. But winning the SEC in this difficult of a, especially with the pitching that this conference has and how deep it is, I think this is a huge step for Coach Weekly and that staff and that team. And yes, I'm super pumped about it and looking forward, because I really do believe that they're going to be in Oklahoma City. Now, what they do there, I guess that depends on when they draw OU.
So,
and that's everybody, right?
Right. So if they make it, I'm going to say if, because I feel like a win. If I say when they make it, will jinx them. So if they make it, will you be there?
I wish. That is a bucket list item. That is on my bucket list. We have so much going on at that time of year, and I would give anything to be there, but no, I will most likely not be unless something happens and I end up with a ticket in my email box or something. I've won a free trip, then sure. But other than that,
credential. Go get that credential.
We're going to count on you to be our boots on the ground out there, though.
Oh, okay. We can work on that.
So,
I always love going.
Yeah, we feel you. But again, thank you. And we will look forward to talking with you again soon in the postseason as it continues on. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. That's MAREN Angus Combs on the Real Property Solutions hotline. 615-527-8750 is the number to call. Give them a call. They will buy your house as is. They can close in your timeline, 7 days or 70. Take what you want, leave what you don't. Just don't even worry about cleaning. Just get out. That's the best thing for you. Mo, I lied earlier. I said that Liberty ended Jacksonville State's season. They did not. The Jacksonville State-Austin Peay game was a play-in game.
Oh.
But Jacksonville State is now in the losers bracket and currently losing to Florida Gulf Coast 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth, but they have 2 on with 1 out. So JSU still playing.
Okay. Stay
Go
cocky.
Gamecocks. Okay. Before we get out of here, Mo, TSSAA region tournaments will commence tomorrow and should be interesting. Actually, some Eastern Tennessee region tournaments started yesterday.
Yeah, I think folks are dealing with graduations and that kind of thing, and so folks are kind of moving some things around to accommodate various goings on that you run into in May. But yeah, in Region 6-4A, they will be playing up at Centennial tomorrow. I say up from Columbia. From my house, it's
over from you.
Yeah, exactly. But you've got Brentwood and Independence playing the 4:30 game over there, and then Centennial and Columbia Central playing at 7. Winners will play at 12 tomorrow. Losers will play at 3, and then the losers bracket final, I guess, would be at 6. It's really interesting. It's kind of a modified double elim that they're playing in Division 1 for the region to decide who your runner-up is, basically. Champion still decided the same. You win 2 games, you're the region champ, and you will host a sectional game, which I think is 2 of 3 this year. They've made some changes. So, and I don't know that I'm on top of all of them.
Yeah. So, and I don't know that we've got time to really dig into this, but
yeah, not at 327 probably, but
so let's use Mount Juliet, Station Camp, Beach, Green Hill. Okay. So this Region 5 is at Mount Juliet, right? So Mount Juliet plays Station Camp and Beach plays Green Hill. Mount Juliet and Station Camp loser will play the loser of Beach Green Hill. Then the winner of that will play the loser of the championship game.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I think, it's better than going over there for one game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I think that's part of it. I think you're testing everybody's pitching depth a little bit more, maybe.
And that's baseball is less of a factor.
Yeah.
For those who understand what I mean.
You're getting a true second place team out of the region, I think.
I like it.
Doing this.
I'm a fan. So looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
that's gonna make region tournaments a little bit more interesting, and I'm a fan. Well done, TSSAA for or member institutions. I guess the members are the ones who put this together. And
I'm not sure exactly who, but yeah, we
can
can probably dig a little bit more into this tomorrow when we actually run through those schedules.
Now that's not softball, right? Softball will not change.
No, softball has not changed.
That's unfortunate for some teams, one locally particularly. But that's neither here nor there. All right, cool. Well, again, we'll get into the schedule tomorrow and let you know what is happening and what's gonna continue to happen in TSSAA play and throughout the weekend in softball and baseball and all of that. So thank you guys for hanging out with us here on Main Street Sports, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Tomorrow we have our Nashville Sound segment and much, much more. So stick around with us at 2:00 tomorrow. We appreciate it. We'll see you at the Lee Company studio then.